Hey, what's up from New Zealand? So we're going on our third week here now in Auckland, New Zealand, and we're about to start our classes on Monday.
So we're super excited to finally get like a schedule down here. So the classes are really different. Like the process of enrollment is really difficult because it takes forever to figure out like the schedule of your classes and what classes to take. There's usually,
I second that.
Yeah, it's definitely like a puzzle. It's super hard to figure out which ones work and which ones don't. So we're given like a 2-week period for our testing where you just study the entire time and then you take an exam which counts for probably 80 to 90% of your whole grade, which is going to be killer. And it's basically lectures and tutorials and whatever other extra classes you need to take.
So I'm taking astronomy, philosophy, art history, and info systems.
And I'm taking microeconomics, info systems, art history, and statistics.
So far, we've been moved into our apartments. I live in an apartment complex, and Katie lives in something a little bit different, which she'll tell you about. Mine is called Carlaw Park Student Village, and it's the grand opening. Actually, the shirt I'm wearing right here, we represent the Black Cobras. And I have 2 flatmates. One is a boy from Finland. His name is Jera, and another is a girl from England, and her name is Becky.
And I live in Parnell, which is a lot different than Carla. It's a little bit older, and it's kind of isolated up on a hill that you have to walk 20 minutes to every single day. But it reminds me of kind of like a jungle bungalow setting, but it's surrounded by really cute shops and boutiques once you get out of the village. And I have 3 flatmates, LJ, who is from Washington, and Sophie and Anna, they're both Kiwis, and they're so much fun.
And we'll tell you a little bit about what we were doing before we got our apartments. It was actually pretty sweet. It sounds like we picked a good program. It's called Global Links, and we all flew over here on a plane together. And then as a group, we got to stay in a couple of different hostels in Auckland and Rotorua. Rotorua is about 4 hours south of Auckland, so we took a bus trip down there, and we did lots of different adventures. And I'll go ahead and tell you about my favorite part of Global Links was the day that we got to wake up super early, not necessarily my favorite part, but then we took a bus to a community where they're trying to restore the original rainforest plants in their community, and we got to plant a lot of things and work together as a group and run around with wheelbarrows and be all crazy. And then after that, we were rewarded by getting to go to the beach, and there was a beautiful mountain there, and I think it's pronounced Mount Manganui. Pretty hard to get the words down. I'm still working on it. And after we hiked, we made it up in 19 minutes exactly. Woo! And usually the record is 20, so you know, we're doing pretty good. And then we went swimming, and the waves are crazy here. Like, you definitely get demolished by them.
My favorite part of our trip to Rotorua was definitely the Waitomo caves. It was a lot of fun because you could either pick rappelling into the caves or tubing through Waitomo. And it's beautiful because you shut off your little light on your head, and you see millions of glowworms light up the cave. And it was absolutely incredible because we just tubed through the little caves, and we had a guide who was really fun. And if you're claustrophobic, it's definitely not the best activity for you because you have to go through these little crevices and slide your way through, and it was just completely incredible. So that was my favorite part.
Want to tell them about O week?
Oh yeah. So right now, you're probably wondering why we're wearing black stripes on our cheeks. It's O week, which is orientation week, and it starts right before school, which is Monday. Monday school starts. So each living place has like a t-shirt, and we kind of compete against each other in a way, but not really. So like I live in Parnell, Shan lives in Carlisle. There's a place called Muna Lodge, and it's all the student housing that's, I guess,
like getting to know each other.
Yeah, getting to know each other.
Getting oriented.
Yeah, and so we have picnics and barbecues to get to know each other. There's something called Shapeshifters, which is a huge concert that we have to get tickets for and wristbands. And yeah, it's just a fun week where it's just all the communities get together. We all get to know each other, and it's a really fun time.
So far in Auckland, we've been kind of adventuring around throughout a week. They have different adventures, but then you can also have like some downtime to explore. And my favorite part has been the fact that the ferries take you everywhere. Probably similar to Seattle for Katie, but I'm kind of new to it since I'm from the valley. And you can just hop on a ferry and go to any of the islands that are just above Auckland. And it's super accessible and pretty inexpensive. So we've been getting big groups together and going to beaches. And we went to Waiheke Island, which has beautiful wineries and very, very pretty beaches. It's extremely blue water. I don't know how to explain it. It's just gorgeous. Everybody has yachts and sailboats and everything there. So we really had a good time with a whole group of friends.
Yeah, so my favorite part is that everything is so accessible. Even though it's a long walk pretty much everywhere you go, it just reminds me so much of Seattle in the aspect where you can walk to campus, you can walk to any restaurant you want, you can walk to the water, you can go on hikes, and it's just everything is in such close proximity. And everybody here is so friendly.
They will help you out with anything.
Yeah, every person you meet, every Kiwi that you meet is so hospitable and nice. And yeah, that's the aspect that I really love about this place.
So we were just going to share like a couple funny differences with you guys because we figured that's all part of the bridging cultures or the culture shock. I mean, the language is the same, but there's some weird things that you're just like, whoa, where did that come from?
Okay, so Shan and I love to wear headbands. Like you can see, it's kind of a hipster thing in California. But everybody asks where we're from because headbands just aren't a thing here.
I guess not.
And so everybody's obsessed with our headband look, I guess. We're starting a new trend. And coffee here is another huge difference.
Yeah.
It is really expensive. But they refer to coffee, if you want to get a coffee, it's either short, long, or flat.
Who knows what that means?
I have no idea what that means. But
and then ice cream is insane here. Like ice cream is like one of my favorite foods, and even the milk and the ice cream is so different. It tastes like almost like condensed milk or like whipped cream or something. It's super, super creamy, so you can only have like one scoop before you get a bellyache. And then something we noticed that was kind of funny is the bathrooms are like completely different. So the toilets flush the opposite way because we're on the opposite side of the world. When you walk in, you have to like turn a little knob that says like engaged or vacant to let people know, I guess, if somebody's in there, they just can't knock. And then they also don't use seat covers. Gross. But in the airports, they have like hand sanitizer and you're supposed to like rub it around. And I'm like, that's okay. I think I'll pass on that.
Another difference is all the guys here wear stubbies, which are really short shorts.
Kind of cool.
Kind of weird. And another thing is you don't have to tip here, which is
very nice.
Very nice. Saves you some extra bucks.
Sadly, their Mexican food is like, but it makes sense if you think about where they're located in comparison to us. They have great Asian cuisines everywhere. But
Thai food.
So good. Yeah, Japanese food. But so far, Mexican food has been absolutely horrible and very expensive.
Mm-hmm. Another difference is there are beanbag chairs everywhere.
Oh, yeah.
It's so weird. You have to go, if you want a beanbag chair, you have to go to the store and get beans and the bag separately. But all around the city, you can just sit in beanbag chairs.
They're everywhere. So relaxing. I guess it's the Kiwi way to take life slow. And then a couple more that we thought of were the signs on the road say give way instead of yield. And also, they're in the wrong side of the car, and the car is on the wrong side of the road. So it was hard for me to get used to at first. I was seeing people drive around with nobody in the driver's seat, but it's just because they're on the opposite side of the car. And I still have a hard time when I'm crossing the street because you look right first and then left. And so, it's pretty easy to get hit by a car here, actually. And then lastly, the dreaded Wi-Fi.
Sucks.
They have terrible Wi-Fi, but yet they're obsessed with it. Everywhere you go, it's like, we have free Wi-Fi. But it's awful. It's just so funny. It's so different from the States. Do you have any others?
I can't think of any.
All I can think of is that we miss everybody back home and
So
we love you all.
much.
Thanks for watching.